2017 Best Class Ever. You are watching the Leadership Kitsap Alumni Association's new show, the Alumni Spotlight. So each month you'll see a new show hosted by Leadership Kitsap alumni with guest stars, Leadership Kitsap alumni. You guessed it. Today is our very first show I have the pleasure of hosting, and my first guest is very special, our current Alumni Association Chair, Melynda Phelps. Welcome, Melynda.
Thanks, Carly. I'm super excited to be here.
Me too. How exciting that we get to start a brand new show.
I know. When you brought this idea up, I loved every ounce of it because it really does highlight our alumni and all the amazing people that we have.
Yeah. So before we go too far, we need people to fill the show.
Yes.
So quick plug, if you know anybody, and if there are any viewers out there looking to either host or guest star, there's almost 700 of us now, 690 and counting. So we have a long time.
I know. I've definitely been thinking of a few people that I want to recruit to be on this show because I just want to pick their brain.
That's right. So the beauty of this show is that we get to focus on the people, our people. So tell us all about you. First of all, what class are you from?
I'm class of 2023, just graduated this last June. Super excited. I loved every minute of it. It taught me so much about leadership and our community, which that alone was the mind-blowing thing. Born and raised in this town, you would think you would know most about the community that you were raised in, but that was the best experience for me. And I made great friendships out of that as well, and it opened my eyes to the different opportunities within our community.
Yeah. So you learned probably a lot of those opportunities in the brainstorming section of the community service projects piece of what we do. Can you tell us about your community service project?
Yes, me and my team picked to work with Catalyst Public Schools, which is an amazing community school out in Manette, Bremerton, and they were perfectly aligned with us, their values and our values as a team, which was, teamwork, integrity, giving back to the community. The Catalyst School does so much to build their community, and so we took it upon ourselves to help them rebuild their kindergarten and first grade garden beds, and that was so much fun to kind of be able to give a space back to the kids that are in the community and just create this little environment that the kids can come out and play and see different plants, native plants. So it was a lot of fun.
That's cool. And you learned some about gardening,
Yeah.
imagine.
We learned, we started the project, and it was interesting because we had different timelines that we needed to meet. And so here it is, the middle of December, we were pulling out weeds and having to clean out the garden beds, and it was freezing, downpouring. Yes, it was like, process to everything that we were doing, but it was interesting. And then we had to wait for Mother Nature to be nice to us and not be pouring on us. But yeah, we definitely learned a little bit about gardening, and then we learned a lot about what Catalyst does, and it was a great opportunity to learn so much just in that little area.
Mm-hmm. And so important to see what they do for their scholars. They invest a lot in their scholars' leadership skills.
Yep.
That's something fun that I got to learn from that experience too. So for you, do you have any kids?
Yes, I have my son. He actually just turned 10 last week. And so that was part of my thing that I wanted to do with my project, is being able to give back to our kids and our future community. I want to be a good mentor like what I had growing up. I had an amazing person that provided such guidance and leadership for me. And that's really what I want to do as a leader, is be able to provide that to our future leaders and provide guidance and tools and resources and just even that little push sometimes that they need to go in the right direction. So that was my favorite thing, is being able to work with the kids and provide those resources. Mm-hmm. And, kind of personal thing for me is, I help my kid see what I do for giving back to the community. And he takes that and he talks about it, and he recognizes mommy for all the things that I get to do. So it's fun.
Super cool. And do you involve him in a lot of your community work outside?
So when I started doing my different things, I did a blood drive for Red Cross. That's why I really started. And it was a lot of, building those partnerships and recruiting people to come in and donate blood because we need blood. But then it was my group of friends that I hang out with. They do an annual stand-up. They partner with Stand Up for Kids. And it's really helping kids that are in our community that are less fortunate. And so for me, again, it's about, getting our kids involved and making sure that they're taken care of. So my son, he loves being a part of all that stuff and seeing all the things. When we do the Toys for Tots run, I always let him pick out all the different things, and he's super excited to always be involved. And he recognizes that there's kids that necessarily don't have all the resources that we do. So he always wants to provide that too.
Oh my gosh, so inspiring. Are you from around Kitsap or?
Yep, I was born and raised in Port Orchard, and I moved to Las Vegas for like a brief second, and then
Who
I was
hasn't?
like, nope, can't do this. Give me my green, give me my water. I need to be back. And so I worked for the state ferries for a very long time, so I was very much a part of the community when I worked there. And when I came back, I wanted to be a part of that community again. So I came back and I worked for the State Patrol for a little bit, and then this opportunity came about that I could work for the sheriff's office, and it's even better. It's better than I could have ever expected because I really do have great leaders that provide me the tools to be a part of these amazing associations and organizations. So they were the one that sponsored me for Leadership Kitsap, and I was so blessed because I've always heard about it and I always wanted to be a part of it. But until I started working with the sheriff's office, I didn't get that opportunity.
Yeah, it's funny that you say you've always heard about it because in my year, I had never heard of it.
Oh, really?
I said, what is this? What is this flyer? I asked my bosses about it. They, of course, knew, but we've been around for 30 years and going. What do you say to people who haven't heard about Leadership Kitsap?
It's funny because my best friend's in your current class, and so I was, maybe talking up a little bit to her. But I tell them it's a great opportunity to not only, build relationships within your community, but it's tools and resources that you get to learn about your community that you might not necessarily have that opportunity. Leadership Kitsap really is the foundation, I feel like, about building our community to be stronger and better. And that's what I loved about it. And that's what I brag about it. It's, these resources that and interactions that you get nowhere else.
So before Leadership Kitsap's signature program, you were already heavy in the community, teaching your son, getting out there, doing things. Can you expand more on that? There's a lot to know about you.
So I am blessed to have these amazing group of people in my life that are like-minded. They have the resources to give back to the community, and so there's different annual events that we coordinate and they take care of, and I just love being a part of all that. They take care of, there's the Stand Up for Kids, which is Kickstand Up. All the proceeds, last year I think they raised $15,000, I think. And then there's also the Tom Spittle Foundation that it helps combat vets with suicide prevention. And so that raised, I think, $14,000. So it's a huge thing, and that's annually. And so I love the fact that I can be a part of that and help raise those funds. And it gives back to our community, and that's really what it comes down to is the small towns in Kitsap County. There's so many people here that need our help, and I love the fact that I can help with all those little things. And even if it's just my time is easy to hand out, and so I love being able to help that. I just love the fact that my son's a part of different sporting events and different things, and I love raising money to help support those things as well. I mean, it's all those little things that add up to make our community successful and make them better. So I always am trying to see where else I can help and lend a hand. So that's a huge thing for me.
Good. And you do so much outside of work, but your work at the sheriff's office is also very community focused. Can you tell us about that?
So I am the executive assistant to the sheriff. So my job is to help him coordinate all of the events that we have, community outreach and different things. I help him plan our Coffee Was with the Cop. And that's a great opportunity for our locals to meet all of our law enforcement officers that they might not necessarily have that opportunity to. And it's building those relationships is super important to realize that there's more to them than just that badge they wear. I mean, they're human beings, they're community members just like everybody else. So I love the fact that I can be a part of that. But yeah, I coordinate all those things, and I always tell people my job is to make sure the sheriff and the undersheriff look good. So it's a lot of work, but it's a lot of fun.
It's a lot of work. And you're doing a fabulous job.
I hope so.
Doing it the right way. I want to know everything about you. What do you have in store for the future? What are your 5, 10, many-year goals?
So after graduating Leadership Kitsap, that was my big thing, is I wanted to stay active with you guys. I think that the opportunity presented itself perfectly, that the board was, or not the board, but the Alumni Association was looking for individuals to be a part of it, and what an opportunity, and to keep building those relationships and building the amazing organization that Leadership Kitsap is. So I like the fact that I can be part of that as the chair and help coordinate all the different amazing things and interact with the current alum as well as our future alum. I like the fact that, I can brag about, what I've accomplished, but then I can also, brag about it to people that might be interested and pique their interest about what we do with Leadership Kitsap. I mean, there's so many different things that are presented, and I just want to keep giving back. I want to keep being able to build our community, make it better, one step at a time, and seeing what we can do. I mean, there's so many different opportunities within our community, and you don't know what it is until it presents itself sometimes. So I'm constantly just looking for different opportunities to see what I can do to give back. And I love it. And again, like I said, getting my son involved in different things too.
Yeah. Oh, you sound like you're filling up his time pretty well too.
Yeah, that kid has no downtime.
Good. Nor does he need it, right?
No, never.
He can sleep it off.
Idle hands, it gets him in trouble.
Yeah, well, I love that. And do you focus on any one part of the county? I know.
Well, being born and raised in Port Orchard, I don't get out too often outside the Port Orchard walls, but
I'm a Port Orchard girl myself.
But I do love the fact that, I have friends all over the county. Growing up, my parents were a part of a car club, and so that was a huge foundation for me about, building the relationships and giving back to our community. That really started, when I was young, and so I pretty much have experienced most of Kitsap County in one entity or another. So, I don't specifically want to focus on Port Orchard. It's just more convenient.
Well, it's right there.
Yeah, I'm like, I got to get on 16 to Highway 3.
What is this 10-minute commute?
Right? No. But I get out because the sheriff, he drags me to different events. And so I willingly go. I shouldn't say he drags me, but I willingly be able to go to different events. And that's pretty good because, again, Kitsap County is huge in the aspect of, mass of people and land and the different communities we serve. There's so many different things. And so I like the fact that we do have just kind of a diverse group of individuals that we have within our community. And I want to get to know those people and help them in different ways.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what we're all about.
Exactly. I know.
Connecting
better fit.
That's right. So is there something that you want to learn more about, or that you have in mind that you want to focus on? It sounds like you have a ton of lofty goals. Is there any focus?
For me, I'm just like, I have the mentality, if you're not learning, you're not growing. If you're not growing, you're not learning. So for me, I again, I don't know what I want to do until maybe something presents itself, and so I want to, learn how to be a better community partner, and because I feel like we can always be better community partners. If there's something that somebody needs assistance with, I want to be able to understand what those needs may be. It's, everything's kind of different. My focus has mainly always been on kids, but doesn't mean that the adults need help too sometimes.
Yes, we do.
But I mean, it's again, just seeing what we can do to partner with, and I love the fact that, you guys always present different things at different opportunities for Leadership Kitsap, that we have, these different entities within our community that need volunteers and different things that pop up all the time. I mean, that's just the thing. They present yourself, and then you got to just jump and see what you can do.
Yeah, perfect. Is there anything that piques your interest in, like, for-profit versus nonprofit, education versus...
No, I don't think there's any. I mean, I've always, most of the things I've done were for nonprofit, but I mean, it doesn't necessarily focus my one direction or the other. I mean, it is what it is, because
leaders are everywhere.
I was going to say, I love the fact that, we partner with everybody. There's huge amount of Leadership Kitsap alumni that works at the county, but they're also the ones that are partnering with a lot of these other organizations to help. I was in human services for a brief moment, and I loved the fact that there was so many partners that they had within our community that was helping homelessness and housing and different things, that we can provide those resources. And, it's pretty amazing, the partnerships and the relationships that I've seen build and continue to build.
I love it. I love it. Perfect person for the chair of the association. Because this is your interview and you are chair, is there anything for the Alumni Association that you're looking for right now to build and grow that network and offer more resources to alumni?
I love the fact that we've had so many people sign up to be a part of the Leadership Alumni Association this last year since I signed up. And I feel like we could always use more people to be involved in that. I feel like we are hitting restart on this, and we're creating new things. And I want to hear those ideas. I want to know what our alumni wants. And, we don't know until you tell us. So if anybody has ideas they want to share, let us know. We want to hear those things. I mean, if there's something that somebody that graduated 20 years ago is having an idea that they think that something would benefit, I want to hear about it. And, I want to start getting the current class involved in the alumni to see all the resources and see all the capabilities that we have being a part of Leadership Kitsap. So that's a huge thing that I want to build those community partnerships, the relationships with the alumni, and see what else we can do for our future, because we're on the ground floor. We're only going up from here.
That's right. Well, I've already sent you like 50,000 ideas, so.
And I love them all. I'm like, okay, how can we make that happen? I love this.
Yeah. Thank you. I just want to know about your leadership style. So we teach a lot about servant leadership, positive leadership, community-focused leadership. So I'm hearing a lot of that similarity in your past experience, but how would you define your leadership style? What is it about you that makes you lead?
I honestly have always kind of been an informal leader in a lot of different ways. I currently am in a role that I can have conversations with different people within our organization, and it impacts people differently. I always want to be able to be a resource for somebody if they're wanting to go to the next step. And if they don't have that tools or resources, I always want to be a resource to anybody. Like I said, having a mentor growing up was a huge impact for me. And I want to be able to provide those tools to others that just need a little bit of guidance. So for me, I'm really just, like I said, whatever, I don't care. I want to help people grow and be better. I want to build those relationships and show people that you are fully capable of whatever you want. And until you put forth effort and take a risk on yourself, you will never know. And I feel like I've been pushed in a lot of different directions in my life. And every time it's scary because, oh my gosh, you got to do something new. But every time it's a huge success and it's a huge win. And even if it's not, it's a huge lesson that I've learned. And I've grown from there. And so I always want to encourage people to strive for their next level of greatness.
Well, that answered my next question too, which is advice for other leaders or people who you see as leaders who may not see that in themselves.
We all have a little bit of a leader in us. I mean, like I said, most people think that you have to be a supervisor to be a leader. No, you've provided somebody guidance sometime in their life that it could have changed their whole perspective on things. Having a conversation with somebody that just needs to listen to somebody. I think just being there for individuals that when you see somebody struggling, great leaders really just help push them to the next step. I mean, we really do. We just want to be able to encourage people and help them, motivate them to recognize in themselves. So I would recommend that don't question if you're a leader or not, because you are.
I love it. I love that. And I just want to stop right there. We can't top that. That was excellent. Is there anything else that you'd like to say out loud?
No, I'm so blessed for this opportunity. Everything happens for a reason, and I believe that wholeheartedly. And I'm so happy to be a part of this association, and I'm looking for our next level.
I love it. Well, thank you so much, Melynda. Class of 2023.
Yes, best class ever.
There you go. You're working on it.
I know.
It'll
Still
get
new.
there. It'll get there soon. Well, thank you so much for joining the show. I'll give you an official handshake.
All right.
Thanks for being here on our very first episode of the Alumni Spotlight. So thank you all for watching the Leadership Kitsap Alumni Spotlight show. If you'd like to host or be a guest on the show, you just have to be a Leadership Kitsap alumni. Email info@leadershipkitsap.org or find more information on our website at leadershipkitsap.org.